Alright everyone, let's stand together, let's show a united front, and let's march against knife crime within our home.
Led by the numbers, a group of citizens decided to take measures by their own hands. Wellingborough, it's the most dangerous medium-sized town in Northamptonshire, with an overall crime rate of 112 crimes per 1,000 people. In the statistics there is a specific crime, knife crime, which has shown increasing numbers in recent years. However, the civil society joined in a common effort to fight against this reality. My name is José Gonçalves, and over the next 3 episodes I will follow in the footsteps of the off-the-streets community, for whom fear it's not an option. Fighting fear with hope. The story of the off-the-streets community. Episode 1. Living in a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of town. Welcome to Wellingborough, a town where around 75,000 people currently live and which is located in the middle of Northamptonshire County. This was the town I chose to live almost 9 years ago, and to be honest, here I feel at home, especially because my children were born here. Actually, not here, because nobody gives birth in Wellingborough anymore. Kettering, with this general hospital, it's the nearest option, and like most of the people who live here, Yasmin, my 7-year-old daughter, can name her favorite place in the town, a small park where dozens of hungry geese live.
We went to feed the dogs. You were walking and walking and walking, keep walking. And then we saw a bit, and I said to Daddy, is there sharks in there? And he said yes, and I said no.
What did you give to the dogs?
Bread.
Walking along the small river that beautifies the town and feeding the geese, it's one of the main hobbies of those who live in this place. Living in Wellingborough is therefore a positive experience, but I would dare to say that it's like living in a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of town. There are those who don't let themselves be blinded by the light, which is the same as saying being aware of the other reality.
It's almost like a dream. One thing I will say is I was always the kind of person that said Wellingborough is not that bad. You know, you just need to come to the town and then you can understand it. But I have seen in years, you know, the recent years, that it's just got worse.
Diana Tricketts, Central Administrator of the Victoria Community Centre, her vision is the reflection of a growing number of crime cases that have plagued Wellingborough in recent years, a reality that, according to Town Councillor Bogdan Shushanu, woke up the community.
You have Crime Stoppers, you have Out of Streets, you have the police doing their campaigns and their actions, and that's a good thing because associations, organizations, charities, because actually these are charities that are mainly involved on NGOs.
This is what civil society is doing, but is this enough to restore Diana's confidence in Wellingborough? Does she have hope for a less bleak future?
I do, but I'm not blind, and I can see the things that are going on around me. We can only try to make things better. At the moment, I can see a decline. It's very obvious, and I think if you ask a lot of people, you'll get the same response.
So it's possible to have a more active citizenship with a simple daily exercise, putting ourselves every day in the place of our neighbor. Today it was him, but tomorrow can be me.
If I see somebody breaking a car, I will call the police because it might have been my car, and next time it will be my car. If I see somebody going into a house, I will call the police because next time it might be my house. So always think that bad thing might happen to you and act accordingly.
Not being passive.
No. If you're passive, then next thing you'll be the next person to. And imagine if you're in that position and nobody gives you help and nobody calls the police, what do you do?
The fear of acting remain one of the main factors leading to many crimes going unpunished. That is why some institutions are acting today in Wellingborough to make society see that it's possible to resist without fear and that it's possible to fight without using violence. It will be a difficult concept to understand, I know, fighting without using violence, but that's what the Off the Streets community has been doing since extreme violence began to surface in Wellingborough.
This needs to happen to show people that there is people out there who wants changes in the community. There's thousands of people who wants changes, but they're scared to stand up and stand for it. And that's where we come in. We'll stand up for the community. So whatever their needs changing wise within the community, their liaise with Off the Streets, we will act on their behalf as Off the Streets and to work our best and hardest as we can to help them make those changes within our community.
Rev Jones is a member of the Off the Streets community, a group of citizens who decided to take concrete actions to alert society to a problem that could knock on the door of any of us. One of the first steps of the Off the Streets was to raise funds so it was possible to spread around the town specific first aid kits for stabbing wounds.
We've been fortunate enough that some small businesses across the Wellingborough area have donated, this was funded by some of those businesses. They've donated funds to pay for these. They're £510. We've also put lots of bleed bags, which is the contents that's inside there, in lots of other premises. Lots of shops have got them, and they have our stickers in the window to be able to identify that there is a bleed bag there as well.
Sarah Joseph, another of the Off the Streets activists, talks about the first achievement of this fight, which was to provide the town with essential kits for a first response in the event of a stabbing, one of the main concerns when it comes to crime. An action that it's also a demonstration to society that it's possible to combat this scourge that so many lives, essentially young people, have taken in recent years.
The important thing is that when we face things that are difficult and serious and upsetting, that we have to respond with hope.
Father Ben, a Catholic priest, also a regular contributor to the actions promoted by the Off the Streets, talking about the only way to fight crime without violence, with hope. In the next episode,
you can't guarantee that ambulance response is going to be there with this sort of situation.
Who plays Grand Theft Auto? Not quite as many. Not quite as many. Who plays